right, I'm very lucky. I have been told that this is the boat to film at the boat show. This is the one. This is the million view boat. It's a one-off by Mahi Boats. I'm with Julian, the chief designer. Julian, I'm not going to say anything more about the boat. You're going to take me for a tour of this wonderful one-off craft, the Evening Star.
Yeah, hi, Julian here from Mahi Boats. This is a Schionning 1520 solitaire design, and we've modified it for the client or the clients. They like this design, and we've personalised it to their needs for short-handed cruising. They're going to spend more and more time on the boat. Currently, they spend every weekend on the boat, and they'll be doing more local sailing and then further afield as the years go by.
Let's go and have a look. And I love the beautiful black mast.
This is a MC1 Spars, new company from McConaughey's. They've been great to work with, and very knowledgeable guys, great quality products, so we're pretty happy with that. North Sails came Brisbane, North Sails Loft. Ben there has been great to work with also, and we've been also working with Harkin and Profil, both.
And built on the Gold Coast, built here on the Gold Coast.
Yes, so this came as an ATL pack with foam glass panels. We have softened a lot of lines and bits and pieces around it with carbon reinforcement where it needs to be. So carbon foils, carbon front beam, carbon prod. The mast and boom are carbon, so is the mast compression and support structure. The rudders, davits, and all the traveller systems are also carbon in the boat.
Wow, so this is like top of your range, custom. Price will not be disclosed. Let's go and have a look on board, Julian. It is a privately commissioned boat, so unlike my other videos, there'll be no mention of the price here. This is the one to dream about, isn't it, Julian?
Yeah, it's welcome aboard.
Squeeze past you there.
It's so plenty of storage around the boat. In here we've got long storage, so things like fishing rods, boat hooks, everything.
Fantastic.
We've got wet storage back here. If you're out in the ocean, catch a tuna, you can throw it in there with some ice, it'll drain out.
Wow.
Normal storage, we've got beautiful teak table and outdoor bar fridge here.
Yes, essential.
Across here, inside here, we've got a barbecue that slots out, comes out.
Oh, lovely.
Local galley made barbecue.
Yep.
Hydraulic steering here. And then one of the electrical rooms, we've got two of these. So, and this side, we've got some 12 volt and 24 volt. There are 4 electrical systems on the boat, 4 voltages. We've got 12 volt, 24 volt, 48 predominantly, and the 230 as well for your appliances and normal plugs.
So you can definitely go off-grid with this. It's set up to go long distance.
Yes, yes. Electric winches all around, electric furlers, and a lot of remote operating for ease of use for short-handed sailing.
Yep.
In the side, we've got a dive locker. You can plug in your hot and cold water as well. Also on these back lockers here, the davit lines for the dinghies.
Yep.
So they direct straight out to electric winch.
Well, you've really thought about every detail, haven't you, Julian?
Again, another electrical room, inverters, chargers, everything in there, and the 24 volt batteries are in there for the 24 volt.
And as you lifted that fresh boat smell.
Let's go up to the helm station here.
Yep. We'll go up there and have a look.
Yeah. If you can see any carbon you see on the boat.
Yes.
Like these poles at the back, steering wheel, stanchions, aerofoil stanchions off the side there. If you see carbon, it's real carbon.
Wow. So no expense spared on this boat.
Yeah.
It is the top of the line, isn't it?
Yeah.
Would have been fun working on it, Julian.
Oh, it's great. I mean, it's a passionate build. Took 2 years to build.
2 years, wow.
Yeah, but we build to order.
Yep.
The boat doesn't have a number; it has a name.
Fantastic.
So,
and
yeah.
good visibility at the front there.
Yeah. The clients, there was a slight height difference. One of them was very tall, one of them was a bit shorter, so we allowed for that.
Oh, nice.
So now you can
That's
stand
perfect
up.
for me and you, Julian.
Everything's accessible. Electric winches again.
Wow.
The feeler buttons are here. This is a remote trip line for the main halyard, which has a jammer on the mast. So all your sheets, your reefing lines, and your downwind sails have come back here, but their jammers are up on the mast.
So obviously the owners are passionate sailors.
They're actually pretty new to sailing.
Wow. All right.
So I mean, the deep end, they chartered some boats up in Europe just to see if they'd like it.
Yep.
And then they decided to jump in the deep end and get one themselves.
And what sort of performance? What are your sort of speeds you're getting with it? And
full noise motoring, we're actually getting up to 11 knots on this. But there's some sweet spots. You'd probably run, 6 or 7 knots comfortably motoring at an efficient range. And then we were coming up the coast 2 weeks ago, sitting at sort of 8s around there, 7 or 8 knots.
Yep.
9s, depending on the winds and the wind direction.
Yep.
So it's comfortable, but it's not going to break records, but it wasn't designed to.
It's a heavy boat though, isn't it? What's the weight?
Oh, it's fully loaded. It's 15 tons.
Yep.
That's with all the full tanks and
Yep.
everything. It's not the lightest Schionning, but we've got a lot of bells and whistles on the boat.
Yes.
And they were willing to make that compromise.
Points to wind, all right.
Yeah. We've got some dagger boards here on the side and drop down.
And what's the draft on the dagger boards?
2.25 metres, boards down, and we're at 1.4, the boards up. The deepest will be the rudders, so quite big rudders on the boat.
1.4, so you can still get up creeks and tributaries and get into those hard to get to places.
Yes. So, I mean, at points fine with the boards. I prefer a boat with boards I've sailed long distances upwind, and that makes a difference. Yeah. And that's why we've also got a structural staysail, so structural longeron, the prodder out the front.
Do we want to maybe go up onto the bow now before we go inside? And
Yeah. So we got a couple of things I wanted to make sure the boat had was a backup autopilot.
Yes.
I've been on a boat where the autopilot's failed, and having a backup saved us days of hand steering. So
yes.
That was a must. The other one we've got is load cells on the side stays.
Yep.
And they're great now. A lot of cruising boats are starting to have these, and it gives you a really clear indication on when you want to reef and depower the boat.
Can you explain that for me? That's something I'm not aware of.
Yeah, so this is a Cyclops load sail out of the UK. They've got different models. This one is the turnbuckle model.
Yep.
The barrel is actually made by Selden masts, and that's there's a Wi-Fi system back under the helm there, and it comes out on your B&G display. When you tune your rig, when you first put it in, if you've got some numbers, you can set it to the right tension on the stays. Some people over-tension their stays at the dock or under-tension them. You can get that right at the start. But then when you're sailing, a lot of people might be running off apparent wind speed or a certain wind speed before they start reducing sail. Catamarans have their maximum riding moment when they're flat. So they power up in an instant when the squalls come through, and people get caught out with too much sail area up.
Yep.
These load sails will tell you instantly if you're starting to overload stuff.
Wow.
You can act accordingly. Great safety thing.
Fantastic, isn't it? Yes.
Also, you can log your cycles and the lifespan of your stays, which is great for your insurance.
Wow. And Dyneema? We're using Dyneema
this is,
rigs?
actually a PBO. So
I'm not aware of what's PVO, sorry.
It's a next step up from Kevlar.
Wow.
Basically.
Gee, so this is a really heavily spec'd boat.
Yeah.
This is
So in the America's Cup, we were running PBO backstays and stuff. So
see, I don't even know about that. I'm just Dyneema's the top of the level for me. Julian,
carbon. Well, we've got
plenty of we've got solar here too. Plenty of solar.
Yes. These are just normal SunPower Maxion solar panels. Great, really efficient, like super efficient. More efficient than your walk-on stuff. Very affordable, especially if you've got to replace them. The owner chose these and went down this. We investigated lots of different versions, and we went with this. This
Lovely.
is I think it's the 420 or 425 on this side. There's two. One's one up the top.
Yep.
And then on the other side, we've got 4 390 panels. So about 2,400 watts of solar. Yeah.
Plenty of solar, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice flat deck.
Yeah. Good tramp. Black tramp. It was chosen. This is Ferrari fabric. Good visibility through the tramp when it's a black color.
Yep.
We've got Profil electric furler. And then we've got a Profil light zero, like a reaching sail furler that snaps on there and plugs in there. So it's all push button. He's got a mastheads North Sail Helix furling Jenica and a fractional reaching sail. So all the sails are Norths. The main, the jib, and the staysail are all 3DI Endurance from Norths. Really great, really light. That mainsail without the blank that came from the factory before it had all its battens and everything on there was about 30 kilos.
Wow.
So I can pull that off onto the deck and reflake it by myself.
Nice.
Great.
Yeah.
In here, we've got a water maker, which is a Spectra Newport 400. Plenty of room in there. We've also got a Max Power Eco, retractable bow thruster from Italy.
Yep.
They're from Southern Seas around at the marina. We've got a lot of suppliers just in the local area. It
would have been fun specking it out because obviously the owners have wanted the best of the best, and you've had to do that research to realise what is the best.
Yeah. I mean, in the industry here, it's a one-stop shop. Yeah. You've got all the support. You've got all the contractors. If you need a stainless chafe guard, you can walk next door and you'll have something in a couple of days.
Yeah.
You know, there's support there. You know, for all this gear, we've got local support because all the local dealers are within a few hundred meters of each other.
Yes,
it's fantastic.
Yes.
Everybody feeds off each other.
Yes.
It's really good. So,
and then you can have a showcase like this to show everyone this is
proudly
what we
locally
can
made.
do. Can do Australian, yes.
Yeah. So
made.
We've got a couple of water tanks, one on each one there. Good storage for your fenders and so forth. Anchor and a deck wash in here.
Yep. Nice.
The owner decided to oversize the anchor, so it's quite big.
Always a good way to go.
He can go to sleep confidently.
What size anchor have you got there?
This is a Rockner. Is it 25? I think maybe.
Yeah.
It's a big anchor.
Yeah. Always a good thing to go bigger anchor.
You know.
I agree.
So he can go. I mean, this is the thing is that cats produce a lot of windage.
Yes.
So when you're at anchor, so he wanted to be comfortable anchoring.
Yep.
And we were fine with that. It's a bit more weight, but you
can sleep safely.
Exactly. This is the sail locker.
Plenty of room there too.
Hang the sheets up.
Easy to get in there.
Things like that. We all the sails, the downwind sails, everything in there is furling. So when you're short-handed, you put the sail up. That's not blowing out anywhere. You can go back and then unfurl. Yep. So it's nice and safe and easy for short-handed sailing.
Yep. And even to get up to the main there, very easy to step up.
Yes.
More solar, plenty of solar there, as you said.
Electric traveller. We've got plenty of pad eyes everywhere. That so you can sheet sails out.
Yep.
Outboard sheeting as well as all your safety lines, your jack stays running across up and down the boat. So you can clip on when you're out at sea and make sure you're all safe, even up on top.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. This is one of the biggest builds you've done 2 years, Julian?
Yeah, I mean, it's good question. With it, I've only been with the company a couple of years.
Yeah.
So, obviously near the start, but not the very, very start. Yeah. Up the mast, we got So up the mast, we've got flare camera on the top there and a radar, and we've got 2 PEP links, so we've got 5G communication, as well as some cameras under the splitters. We've also got a camera just here, and then also inside, so security when you're at the marina.
Yep.
They can log in remotely, and there's a sensor there, so they can see when somebody's coming on the boat that's not supposed to be there.
Nice.
When you lose 5G coverage, the Starlink will kick in.
Gee, they've thought of it. You've thought of everything.
Yeah.
All right.
Josh, do you remember what the guy at the mannequin, what was his name?
All right. So we just squeeze through there.
Who's down here? So this is the owner's hull.
Yep.
In here is the electric motor. Pretty empty in here, but we've made it so you can put a diesel in if you wanted to.
What's the horsepower of the electric?
The electric's 25 kilowatt, and it's a direct drive straight into the shafts.
All right. So can you convert that to like a horsepower, or it's not so?
I could. I'd have to do it on my phone.
Don't worry, it's all right. But it's enough to power the boat. That's the most important.
And we've got 20-inch Brunton auto props, so they're automatic pitch.
Yep.
Yeah. The noise and stuff like that. This all closes off.
And well, you can hardly hear.
Yeah.
And lovely through here too, isn't it? I like the black. That's,
Yeah. This is actually vinyl Candine flooring.
Yep.
Locally sourced. Yeah.
Washing machine. Plenty of views out the window.
Just little things that the owner wanted was somewhere to put dirty clothes. So we've got a laundry hamper.
Oh, lovely. Yep.
And folding washing. Blackwater tanks under here. Batteries on the floor. So we've got 12 of these Victron batteries.
Yep.
Paired up for a 48-volt system.
Wow.
Nice, easy to clean. The request was just easy to wipe down and clean.
Yes.
Yeah. Huge shower.
It's a you can fit
4 people in there.
You can fit a crew of people in the shower.
The one thing that was also pointed out just the other day was great if you had kids. Some young children.
Yep, needing to wash, whatever. Yep.
You can pile them all in there.
Yeah.
With their toys.
Yep. Turn it on.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, and then they could have hours of fun.
And we do customs, like we could put some pad eyes there, and you could hang up weather gear or whatever.
Yeah.
So
I love
it's got air. We've got an aircon chiller behind there, so there's aircon through the boat. There's air handlers. There's one in this hull, one in each cabin, and a couple in the saloon as well.
And you can still open up all your hatches to let some fresh air in too.
Lots of airflow.
Yeah. Little bookshelf, lovely.
All the beds, local supply of the mattresses, all in a spring. These are split and fold over, fold up. I made sure that the owners could both of them do it individually. If one of them was incapacitated for any reason, you needed to get an engine room. I had to make sure that.
So you had to get into the end.
So this folds over.
Yes.
In half and up, and the engine hatch comes up.
Yep.
We just want to make sure that
It's
you can
easy.
do a lot of vital things on the boat by yourself.
Yes. All right.
As a safety thing. This is a king size bed, king size on the other side as well. We've got a double mattress at the front and an extra long single, all standard size sheets. So you can just go down the road and buy standard size sheets.
Fantastic. Plenty of space here too. Continue the tour, Julian. After you, you go lead the way. Show me the.
We've got fridge, 2 freezers. This is 24 volt. We've got another fridge out there, fishing pipe dishwasher, little oven there, and a cooktop.
Plenty of space there too.
Plenty of space.
Easy to get to.
Soft close, and it locks as well.
Oh, nice.
For all of these, well thought out. We've got another broom cupboard here with a stick vac which charges inside the cupboard.
Yep.
Lots of storage under here.
Yes.
This is a structural element. Like I said, anything carbon is carbon.
Yep.
This goes into the floor, and carbon structure big beam through there that goes in an H pattern out to the bulkheads, and that supports the compression of the mast.
Nice.
Nice big sink.
Yes.
Remember, if you're going to do a boat, deep sink, you always dump stuff in here when
Yes.
you're underway.
Yep. Very
also,
handy.
Also, you end up...
And what if it's a bin?
This is a bin.
Yep.
Yeah, rubbish bin.
Yeah, lovely. We don't need to see in there.
The other one is on boats, you end up having bigger pots and pans.
Yep.
When you're boiling something on the stove here, like for some rice or pasta, you only fill it halfway. So you end up having pots and pans that are bigger than you'd have at home because you don't want your meal ending up on the other side.
Yes.
So
yep.
to accommodate, to wash that, you need a bigger sink.
You've thought of everything, Julian.
Nav desk.
And it's got a good seat, but it's got instead of rollers, it's got a
little felt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not going to take off. All the services here, aircon, all your battery stuff, all your Victron, touchscreen, C-Zone. So we can go through monitoring. You've got all your electrics. This is your, a lot of people have C-Zone now, or your digital switching. Alarms, everything's connected to that. You can set different modes, docking, underway, at light, and it'll turn on all the right lights and nav lights and everything.
Yep.
A lot of electronics behind those panels under there.
Yep.
But this here is the main nav desk. This is actually a normal standard LG screen that we've fitted here. This has got a connection here, so you can plug your laptop in.
Yep.
It also has a computer mounted on here, so this is normal internet. It's running off our Starlink at the moment. Time zero. This is great software that I've just found out about. So very accurate. A lot of fishermen use it now. Contours.
Wow. Yeah, I've just got Navionics, but that looks a bit
this is
above Navionics.
This is phenomenal, actually. And we also run Predict Winds as well on there. But I can just use normal Google and search for stuff on here as well.
Time zero, I have to check that out.
Yeah, no, it's been pretty good. And then that's been tracking our course, and they give us a full route diary every hour, our speed, direction, everything like that.
Wow.
The other thing that we've got on here is, because we've got an HDMI switch under here, we can flick to mirroring the BNG screen down here.
Yep.
Our security cameras, or also our infrared FLIR camera can come up onto here.
Such a handy thing too to have. Security cameras,
Yeah.
particularly when you're at anchor, particularly in the Broadwater.
Yeah, so we've got FLIR camera control, autopilot, which is the same as up here. It's just a mirrored system. So if you're down here and you want to change course, you can go up and down on the autopilot and your normal BNG display here. Screen controller. Also, just little things like we've got a charging cupboard in here.
Yep.
Put your phone, you can fit an iPad in there.
Yep, and it doesn't fly around.
Yeah, everything, all the power plugs have got charging capability.
Nice.
If you come down this way, we've got this bed up. This is another same bed as on the other side, king size. This is the engine room with the diesel, the hybrid system.
Yep.
It's a 110 horse Yanmar. It's Pre-Marine installed this for us, and Odyssey Electrical did all the electrical work. Safari supplied our BMGs, which are belt driven motor generators, which are apparently different to alternators. These were generating about 10 kilowatts. These pair off this motor, just motor sailing. And then the electrical motor can piggyback. That has a belt drive. We're just taking that off at the moment. Doing a couple of mods, but that drives the shaft. You can just put the motor in neutral, or you can just drive the Yanmar normally.
Yep. This really is cutting edge, isn't it? It really is.
Yeah, I mean, a lot more people are thinking about hybrids at the moment.
Yeah,
really taking it seriously.
Yep.
So, and then you see a lot of engine manufacturers like your Volvos and stuff starting to get into it as well.
Yep.
They're seeing there's a lot of interest.
Yeah. Yep.
Just your usual storage. You've got hot water under the floor. This is actually a wet locker. We've got a fan, drains into the shower.
A fan also, gee.
Yeah.
No mould building up.
Well, our electrical installer, Odyssey, they said we've been using these little fans. They're actually computer fans, very low power draw.
Yeah, but enough.
Super quiet.
Yeah.
Just enough to get some airflow around. So really good ideas.
Just fantastic, yeah. I'll just turn around and so this is we've got a couple of beds there.
So this here is, we call it the Swiss Army cabin. So a double bed and then an XL single along the top. This double bed folds up.
Yep.
So, this can fold.
Oh, yep. Bring that up. Yep.
Right the way up.
Yep.
And then underneath there, we've got a panel under the bed that clips in over there, creates another workspace. We've put a mount for a vise. So this is the owner's workshop as well as a cabin.
Oh, nice.
So he can do all the maintenance on the boat. He can take winches apart, service pumps, everything.
Right here.
Toolkits for everything. And tools for everything that's stored under here.
Nice touch.
And then, but it can also double as a
guest bed.
Guest bed and a guest office.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody, you had a guest on the boat who wanted to do some remote work, perfect. We've got a workbench for you.
Yeah.
Right there.
And behind here
this is just a wardrobe. We've got one of the black water tanks as well.
Oh, yep. All right, lovely.
Yep.
And so
and this is a bathroom. Come on in.
All right.
Nicely well appointed bathroom.
Wow. Yes, a lot of space, isn't it? Yeah.
Great shower, step down. So good size shower. We've had a lot of good comments about this bathroom. Good ventilation. Great,
which is important on a boat. You don't want mould building up and
easy
getting black lung.
Yeah, no, just a space. You can, it's probably bigger than my shower at home.
Yes, yeah.
But in there, all electric toilets.
And even the toilet, you're not sort of bending in, injuring your back on one of those.
There's an undercut there,
yeah.
So you can sit comfortably there. You've got easy wipe down, Korean benches and sinks. Yeah.
Lovely. Well, thanks. Have you done many tours of this boat so far? It's just basically brand new, isn't it?
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's been a lot of interest.
Yep.
On this tour, we're a composite custom boat builder. This is a one-of-one that we're doing. The next boat we might not ever do one of these boats again, but we might do a powerboat next time.
But you've done it, and you've got, as you said, you've got all the local connections for all the gear that you need. Yeah. And what a project! You must be very happy though that it's all finished. 2 years.
The whole team. And,
yes.
You know, this has been a passion project for all our team. We've got.
So Mahi Boats, what do you mainly concentrate with? Catamarans or everything?
Anything and everything.
Anything.
Yeah, we've got a commercial boat, monohull at the moment.
Yep.
That'll be in survey. There's probably more detail on this boat. Very particular client, and everything is very well thought out.
Yep.
We've done a Peter Brady catamaran, power catamaran for a lovely couple from Ely Beach. They've already travelled to Tasmania. I think they're planning on doing a lap of Australia. They ring us every so often, tell us where they're at.
Oh, lovely.
The clients that we have who own this boat are now very dear friends. And
well, he's I met the owner. He's very passionate about telling me,
now we just talk on the phone just about normal stuff, not boats.
Yes,
we we take our clients on a journey.
Yes,
throughout the whole process, from the design through the build to the launch, and they're part of the Mahi family now.
And isn't it fantastic, as you said, that on the Gold Coast, that there's that boating industry where things are built. And you can cover every aspect of boating. It's great. But, Julian, what about a cold moulded wooden boat?
Sure. Yep. Well,
I don't want one, but I own one.
Yes.
And I mean, there's a definite lovely feel with a wooden boat.
Oh, I mean, timber's great to work with.
You need half a lifetime to maintain the thing.
We'd love to do a timber boat. We'd happily do a timber boat. We do. We specialise in composites. If you want a carbon fibre race yacht, we'll do that. We've been doing quite a bit of refit work on big boats. teak deck replacements. We've just put a 360 gyro and a gyro stabilizer and a 360 sonar in a sports fisher.
Wow. So it sounds like there's nothing you can't do.
Oh, yeah. Well, we do race car parts as well.
Wow.
Everything. We've got 3 CNC machines, a 3, a 4 and a 5 axis. So a lot of capability, a lot of great staff, and we love what we do.
Julian, thank you for the tour. It was fantastic.
Pleasure.
Yeah, I've very much enjoyed seeing. We basically are looking at the top range catamaran built here on the Gold Coast. You've done a great job. Thank you, Julian. Fantastic. I won't, left hand shake. I don't know what that means, but
No, that's fine.
thank you.
Thank you.